Greetings and welcome to the final program of the week of Saskia Reserved. Look who I have in the studio with me. It's Panis Pieris, and he's a growth hacker. Something quite different, I think, from the usual guests whom I have, but he's terribly important because he's the person behind the way growth actually happens in startups, and I don't profess to know a lot, and that's why we have him here in the studio. So we're going to be discussing that with him. If you've got questions and you're a young startup, you're an entrepreneur, you want to know more about how to expand, because it's really all about numbers. I think you'll find it's all about numbers, how many people are looking, how many people are following you, what they're doing, and how do you get that done. It's terribly difficult. For those who've got new accounts, you have to see how to make it grow. He's going to answer those questions, and he's going to explain exactly what he does. So do stay tuned, and we're going to be with you live now. Mike. And that was Camille Saint-Saëns. Leonard Rose with the Saint-Saëns Cello Concerto, and that's brought us to 25 minutes to 1. Very warm welcome if you've just tuned in to Rick Classic 88.2. You can also find us streaming from cybc.com.cy or from my Facebook, from my website as well, saskiaconstantinou.com. You can also find us now live on Facebook, and I say we because I'm very happy to have in the studio with me my special guest, Panis Pieris. He's a growth hacker. He's got over 18 years of multidisciplinary hands-on experience in digital and growth marketing, in media, startups, innovation and technology. He's been actively involved in over 100 international and local digital media projects, and in various industries, so from forex to fintech to real estate, sports, employment, blockchain, travel, crypto, IT and so much more. He's the founder at Your Growth Media. Do check out that website. The first podcast in Cyprus dedicated to startups and innovation. DisruptCyprus.com, and the European startup podcast Disrupt Europe. He's co-organized, curated technology events, meetups, networking event, hackathons, and so much more. And I'm so happy and honored to have him here in the studio with me today. Thank you so much for being here, Panis.
Thank you, Saskia, for having me here, and to your one of the best broadcast shows in the island.
Oh, you're so
at
sweet.
Least in the English language. Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that might came. We are doing also a watch party. We share the live in our streams also. Let's start.
That's excellent. So let's begin by discussing growth hacking. It's a relatively new field in marketing, and began in relation to early stage startups who really needed massive growth in a short time on small budgets. And if you're able to do that, you should be on everybody's radar. Can you explain to us a little more in detail about growth hacking?
Yeah, in general, growth hacking is okay. It's not something new. It was happening in the past, but I think around 10 years ago, Sean Ellis from growthhackers.com, he coined the term as growth hacking. It was also when startups were going also viral. This trend of building a startup was going viral everywhere in the global space. And okay, in general, growth hacking is not only digital marketing. It's a mixture of product development. It's a mixture of combining product development with data-driven digital marketing, and when a company finds, we try to speak as avoiding
too much terminology.
avoiding some terminology because unfortunately the world of startups has a lot of terminology.
Yes.
And it's one of my first advice that I give to young people.
Yes.
If you want to get involved in startups, you need to read. There is a nice glossary in fi.go.
Yes.
About startup terminology. So you need to read that terminology, understand a bit the terminology, because a lot of the people they use this terminology in presentations, events, gatherings, etc.
Yes.
Okay, growth hacking, it's basically data-driven digital marketing, but involves also the growth hacker will see the whole spectrum of bringing you traffic and bringing you sales. Usually, a normal digital marketer might see it up to the point that you get, for example, if you're a company, you get leads.
Yes.
It will see up to that point, but a growth hacker will see also after that. The after sales, how the after sales marketing is happening, how you are keeping your client in the company, how you are minimizing the retention. I mean retention, people that they leave from your company. Yes. I mean clients that they leave from your company. It doesn't end. And a growth hacker usually has, when it comes to a company, just to put it a bit simple, his first thing that he needs to try to do is finding, as the growth hackers team call it, your North Star KPI. So your North Star, I mean, the thing that actually makes value for you to grow. And when you identify that, and you identify that through experimentation, a lot of experiments in to identify the best. Let's call it the best way. I don't want to use terminology because maybe funnel is a bit. Your audience might not be
funnel,
familiar.
I think is a basic word. Even I know that.
Yeah, okay. You know that because you did marketing for yourself to make the show, so you understand some stuff. But the first thing, for example, for a company that has found let's say the product market fit, so he has found what he needs to sell, the right price, etc. And after that, he needs to do digital marketing.
So basically, they've got their package. I mean, they've got their business. They know what they're going to do, and now it comes to that crucial stage. How are we going to put ourselves out there?
Yes, and even if you're out there, you need to start optimizing your presence. Growth hacking and growth marketing comes there in the optimization part. How you optimize, how you are doing tests, how you are testing different campaigns.
Yes. To
obtain better results. The goal of a growth hacker is to have month per month growth in a company.
Yes.
It doesn't. A real, at least, growth hacker doesn't rest. I mean,
you said the word real. I want to hop on that. There are a lot of people who say that they do things, especially when it comes to an online environment, and they can't actually deliver. So how does somebody identify a growth hacker and whether they're actually good at what they do?
Usually a growth hacker is a guy that actually in his life or his experience has found a way to create viral campaigns. So, but at any given time, you need to, if you go to a company to get digital marketing services or whatever other services, you need to trust. You need to go there, see the first 1-2 months, and if you are not happy with the results, then you try to find someone else.
So you're saying within sort of 1 to 2 months, you should see some kind of movement, some kind of growth, some kind of improvement.
Yeah. If someone comes and optimize, there is things that you can optimize and you can optimize fast. Yes. There is things like search engine optimization. You need content that you need time to build that. But there is other optimizations that a growth hacker can do some immediately. For example, Recently, I was consulting before COVID blockchain startup.
Yes.
And after our meeting, the guys did immediately some changes after the advice that I gave, and I suggested to test some stuff. And immediately in the next 1 week, they had 1,000% growth.
Wow.
In their leads.
Wow.
It was simple stuff. For us,
for you it's simple, but imagine what it means.
Yeah, I mean,
to that other person who didn't have that growth.
Yeah, a lot of companies, a lot of people, at least in Cyprus, abroad is much more. Abroad, they understand the concept of optimizing your digital marketing campaigns.
Yes.
In Cyprus, even big companies, okay, they might start with something. They are happy with some results. It's the fear of, first of all, in order to be a growth hacker, you need not to afraid to make a test, trial. In trial, you'll do errors.
Yes.
Usually, 8 out of 10 of the campaigns or hypotheses that you're going, it will be an error. I mean, it will generate wrong results, and the client needs to understand this. That if you are willing to, if you are allowing me to optimize your campaign, you understand that we are going to spend also money that will go into
waste.
Until you finalize, reach that sweet point that it will bring you virality or bring you the crazy growth.
But that honesty makes it, I think, acceptable. If you outline that from the beginning and you say that to your client, and the client understands that.
Yeah, and actually it was times that I never got a client because I understand that he was not willing. From our first conversation, I understand that he will not be willing to undertake these testings.
Yes.
and maybe, and as you know, in a company or people, it's difficult to change.
Of course.
It's very difficult to change, and one of the traits of a good growth hacker is this, that they are adapting very fast, and they're changing either their business or either some things in their life very fast. Again, another trait of a growth hacker is it's people like me that, for example, me, I have business background, I study IT, so they have a that's why they have a multidisciplinary knowledge.
Yes.
For example, I know some basic stuff, how to code, so it's much easier for me to discuss with a web developer and understand what he's doing instead of, to be like a brand marketeer that I know only marketing. I'm very good at marketing or branding, and it's difficult for me to communicate with developers because, as you know, tech people, they need a special. It's a special connection that you need to build with them and work with them, or graphic people, or etc. So you need to have this business and tech approach, because a lot of growth hacking is data driven.
Yes.
You use also a lot of tools.
Yes. Tools
like Hotjar, it's a good tool. If anybody is listening, we actually in Disrupt Europe we had one of the chief designers. It's a Cypriot guy, Dennis Constantino. We had him and we discussed about Hotjar and other stuff. Hotjar, for example, is a tool that you can optimize your website, and it gives you heat maps. It shows you where people are driving, where they're going, where they're clicking.
We'll come a little in a little more detail to that in a minute. I want to ask if you cover all industries. Anybody who's listening now who may be selling things on the internet or who may be offering services, do you cover everything?
Yeah, the growth hacking methodology cannot be applied to any company. It started from the startup world because most of the startups, when they are starting, they needed to find virality, they needed to find viral ways to create traffic in their business, and they didn't have money. So they tried to think clever ways, clever growth hacks, let's say, to grow.
Yes.
But the growth hacking can be applied to any industry, any company. And in the history of growth hacking, there was also clever things done in the offline world, even before digital. Nobody called them growth hacks back on the days.
Yes.
But again, For example, a nice growth hack, it was in the old days, it was when, for example, Pelé was playing in the cup final.
Yes.
And the company that was branding his shoes, back then it was the first, I think it was Nike or Adidas, I'm not remember now.
Yes.
The company, he told him to, before the opening match, because Pelé was the first that will, to sit and tie his shoelaces.
Wow.
So from there the camera went to the shoe, so it was like a moment of catching the attention for the company with that simple
simple action.
That simple action, and that's the clever things that you can do and achieve. Either more brand awareness for your brand, or more people. And
how important are numbers? We hear about needing millions, definitely thousands, if not millions, in order to have a following. But when you see how many people actually comment, how many people actually click, how many people actually watch a video, an interview, you see that it's actually only a few seconds that they're watching, or they click a like and they go through, they may not read what's actually been written, they don't really pay attention. It's very fast. So why is it so important to have such big numbers? Surely if you've got smaller numbers but you've got more activity, it would be more productive.
Okay, when I mention growth, just not to be misunderstood, I'm not talking about numbers. I'm talking about if you're a company and in order to survive its sales, you need to find growth ways to grow, but to grow and do actually sales. It's not about doing a campaign and bring 1 million likes. I have done this, by the way, with the company, but that's not the goal. The goal, different organizations have different goals.
Right.
So you need to identify which goals are actually make meaning, and then build a growth strategy on that goals. So it's not about bringing constantly numbers. Okay, if you're a media house and you need numbers, and you don't care. Okay, if you're like, let's say, a big media house that covers everything, and you need numbers, it's good to go and invest, for example, bringing likes in your Facebook page, so that likes will transform into clicks when you share your articles. But if you are a niche, let's say media, you need the right people to like your page. You don't need anyone to like your page, at least in the beginning. And this is so it's not, to clarify, it's not about it's about having a good growth, but
so you need a strategy. So you're going to say, well, I need numbers because I want to become an influencer and I want to monetize my page through having a lot of
now you said
people.
A word that I don't like, to be honest.
Good. Tell me about it. Which one?
The word influencer. I mean,
tell us about that.
Especially not only Cyprus but globally, an influencer is not the guy that has huge numbers. You might have, if you have both, and you have you might be an influencer somewhere and you don't have the big numbers, but you have the right people in your channels.
That's what I was sort of trying to refer to previously, that you've got the people there who actually care and who actually comment, or who say something, or
and
who interact.
And usually influencers that they have more engagement, or not on likes, I mean, but comments.
Engagement is the another key word.
It's much. There are more influencers, at least in my book, people that they have a lot of engagement in their post, instead of having numbers and you don't have the huge engagement. And
what is it about the word influencer that you don't like?
No, I don't like, because a lot of people, they are calling me influencer of the tech and innovation. scene in Cyprus.
So you don't like the label.
So yeah, even European Commission labeled me as a influencer last year when I was invited to join the biggest innovation conference in 2018 in Brussels.
Yes.
And cover the whole scene, the event there. And yeah, I don't consider myself, even other people that are saying me that, yeah, you are an influencer, but I'm not considering, I'm just doing what I like, because first of all, I like these things that I'm doing.
Yes, it's important when you spend a lot of time in your job. Yeah, it's
important. I'm planning also, to be honest, slowly, now we're planning a new series in Disrupt Cyprus with interviews only from startup founders, Cypriots from Cyprus and from around the world. That slowly we might get the results and put them also in written or in a book or something. For me, it's much more important to, and you will see when you add value, whatever you are posting, etc., you'll see more engagement, more people will like it. At least the people that they like what you like doing. It's not, and my advice to other influencers: don't try to focus on getting, just invite the right people in you, and then the right people will become either potential clients if you are doing the influence to get more clients.
What is it? What is that mysterious X factor that makes somebody stop and post and read what you've actually got to say? What is the X factor that keeps somebody on the page to tune in, to stay listening when you're doing a live? So thank you to all the people who are watching our live. What keeps them there?
I have seen that in live, especially because I'm doing live Facebook lives I was doing before even Facebook launched the application.
Yes.
I was doing with Meerkat and Periscope when they started out. And I was the first in Cyprus doing it, and never see other people doing, a lot of people applying using the Meerkat when it came out in US. And it's things that they are not prepared in the live. You do stuff that, if it's an open conversation like this, not prepared, not a plan.
Yes.
If you can do that, because not a lot of broadcasters can do that. To have a non-structured interview. With some people, ask them.
Hopefully
to be authentic. And vice versa. Not a lot of people. They are doing that. For example, tonight we are starting in 6 o'clock. We are starting on a totally unstructured, the Disrupt Cyprus research hashtag, a series that will play every Friday at 6, and it will be totally unstructured with researchers. We'll invite the researchers and we'll discuss about their research or about their life, how's their research, and it will be totally unstructured. No questions from before. No specific topic.
I think that keeps it interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you don't know what will happen after.
Yes. And
it's like a movie. It's like you're entering a movie and you don't know, a movie that has constantly suspense. You don't know what we're planning to hear.
Yes.
Okay. In general, almost there is also which channel you are broadcasting. Different channels, they have different. For example, Facebook. Okay, all of us were doing Facebook Live.
Yes.
But in general, people in Facebook, they will not stay long. Whatever views you are watching, and we need to say the truth here. A view of Facebook is like 3 seconds. A view in YouTube.
Why is that? Is there something wrong with people?
No. Facebook is like this. Facebook.
But it's not. Facebook isn't the. Facebook is only the medium. Yeah. We're the people. We are the people. Is our attention span, because we're the ones who control whether we click out.
That's another question and huge discussion about the attention of people. The attention of people
span, because has
reduced to minimum. That's why you see social media channels like TikTok.
Yes.
They have attention of 1 minute.
Yes. I think it's tragic in a way.
Yeah. Okay.
It is tragic.
I don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist to.
No, that's going to
comment on that.
Yes.
But Yeah, I mean, okay, life is becoming much more busier. You are constantly, working, so your attention. Facebook is built so for you in order to scroll continuously. So it's not built. That's why YouTube is much more for broadcasters, because they are people, they know that they will sit like 20 minutes, 30 minutes in YouTube to watch it.
There's some fascinating documentaries, films, opera masterclasses. I mean, you name it. There's so much material.
And that's why also YouTube now is going to a Netflix model, a paid. And it's pushing you. If you have seen a lot of free trials, register.
Yes.
Because they are going into that model in order to become sustainable.
Yes.
Because Google will not always fund YouTube, and they're trying to compete now with Netflix. In that, with different things. You have also Amazon in that space coming now with Amazon Prime and other series and TV series, etc.
How important is it to keep updated with all this, the latest technology, the way to go, not to be doing live, to maybe go to Instagram, and they've got IGTV now. How important is it to keep up with these platforms and to control the content of what is created by you?
To be honest, I am a marketeer, but to be honest, I have so much work to do to create this content, put it in these platforms. So I don't invest a lot of time to see what I pick some content that I like, and I'm watching them, and I choose because the broadcaster, I like the broadcaster, the way he's doing that, and etc. So but in general, it's very important for anyone in any industry to spend like 1-2 hours. What I'm doing, at least I spend at least 2 hours of my life every day to learn about new stuff in my industry. Check new things coming out, maybe read some blogs, read stuff. So, and my philosophy at least is that you need to have this constant education in your life.
Yes.
Because it's a growth also. It's part of growing and the growth mindset. And the other thing is to try to adapt to all this knowledge that you are getting. For example, if you have read a blog post with like 5 best practices in your industry, start taking this 1, 2, 3 stuff and apply them and try to apply them to your business. I mean, in your startup. I mean, don't read it. Don't sit down and read these tips, etc. If you think you don't have the time to apply them.
Having mentored hundreds of young entrepreneurs, what would you identify as the greatest challenge that they face?
Finding a team, and that's why immediately. I mean, finding the right team, and that's why also the reason also from data is the biggest reason that startups, 9 or 8 out of 10 startups, they fail. It's because they don't have the right team.
How does one go about choosing, because I know exactly what you're talking about, how does one actually choose a team? You start out with all the best intentions, and you think that you're working in collaboration together, and then you see this person thinks this person thinks something else, and slowly the team sort of disintegrates, or somebody wants to go ahead in a different direction. How do you keep it all together?
Anyhow, a lot of the times will happen that. That's why you need to. Whatever I will advise to young people is find people that you already know, that you already worked at least 1-2 years before opening a venture with some guy, just to know a bit. Not to be your best friend. I will not advise that, but at least to know with these people, have worked, have seen how they work. If you're a startup, it's good to complement each other. So if you're in business, don't go open a company with another business with some more business guys. Go
Yes.
find a tech guy. Go find. So it's good the team in the beginning to have this diversity. For example, one can be about marketing, branding, etc. One is the guy that will bring business, will do the business properly. That guy might be the CEO most of the times, and the other guy should be the CTO. Something also advise that if you are at any point in a startup you are planning to go to investors, don't build a very big team in the beginning. If you are not planning and you are planning to create a product that you will sell it and you will bootstrap and you will build it slowly with your
Yes.
with your power and your money, etc. Then okay, it's good to build a big team, 5-6 people, because you need this team spirit to achieve it. But in general, if you're because when investors come inside, then they will put money, so they will tell you, okay, we need this guy to be in the board member. So if you are already 5-6 people and taking
Yes.
decisions, it most of the times is much more difficult to bring investors in. If the initial founder team, it's very big.
Are the challenges the same in Cyprus as abroad, or do we have a few extra ones here for an entrepreneur? Startup.
Okay.
You must be honest.
To be honest, the challenges are the same in different ecosystems. But there is ecosystem like Berlin, like Silicon Valley, like the Israeli. They are more mature, so they pass from these things. Our ecosystem is more, it's young. It's an ecosystem of 7-8 years old.
Yes.
It's the first time now that actually the government has a Ministry of Innovation in R&D and digital policy.
Yes.
We never had this. I mean, and we never had this. We never had, like a political figure to blame or to praise if everything goes bad or good.
Yes.
And someone that actually has a political responsibility about this.
Yes.
About building this innovation culture in the whole island. In general, what I see with Cyprus is that okay, we lack. And that's don't take it, if anyone is listening, don't take it the wrong way. We lack in mentors that they have built global companies.
Yes.
It's difficult to find. Well, it's small island. It's by
of course, and I
quite
mean,
difficult.
someone who's built something usually goes somewhere else.
Usually they will be in Greece, London, or Silicon Valley, Los
Yes.
Angeles, or other big Singapore in Asia, Tokyo. I mean. Yeah, and this is where the ecosystem and all the stakeholders need to try to bring from other people, maybe bring them here, maybe create a program that they will bring, or even in a weekly basis, some people to sit with the teams. Because if you are building a startup, okay, there is two different classifications. There is a startup, someone will try to grow very fast, find investment very fast and hit, like in the next 5 years, global markets, etc. And there is an innovative small medium enterprise company, and they might be doing something different, but they don't care. They might care to create like a business for 3 years, 5 years, maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, see global. There is two classifications. So if you are building a startup and not an innovative enterprise, and then you need to speak with people like the founders, if it's possible. If you want to create the next Airbnb, you need to try find ways to speak with the founder that built the Airbnb. I mean, take his advice. And these people, a lot of people, they think that they are unapproachable. They're not.
I was going to say
9 out of them, they will answer you, even if you send them a LinkedIn comment, or
Yes.
especially in the startup world, people are very.
You find they want to help other young startups.
Yeah, there is the startup. One of the things of the startup world globally is the paying forward. They have also, for example, Techstars. They have a philosophy. Techstars is one of the 3 biggest accelerators and VCs in the world. They have the give first philosophy.
Yes.
And pay it forward as a company. They want to, their startups, they are trying to solve problems that people have either locally, globally, etc. The same with Y Combinator. they have this philosophy of pay it forward, give first. There is this communal, let's say, spirit
yes
in the startup world. But again, okay, you have venture capitalists, you have investors, you have the money sharks,
Because you've actually preempted my next question, which is that the major challenge startups usually have is connecting with the right people.
Yeah. It's a problem. For me, it's not a problem because I am a connector, so I like this, and I know how to do that. And actually, I have helped also startups to raise millions by connecting them with the right people.
Yes.
Of course, at the end, if you want to get money from an investor, it's your, as a team, it's your...
Yes, obviously.
It's your skills that will do that.
Yes.
But again, every ecosystems around the world, they have these super connectors.
Yes.
That there are people that they will bring the dots together. So it's people, they either do events, there are people of the media sometimes, people that they have podcasts, people that they are doing, because having a podcast is opens you can meet much more easily people.
Yes.
Because 9 out of people, when you say to them, okay, let's come and let's have a great discussion in my podcast, for example, they will do it. Okay, it's difficult to bring Elon Musk to a podcast, but but again,
if you don't ask, then you won't even know.
Yeah, of course.
Right. I must agree. Sometimes people have said yes to interviews whom I never thought would say yes, and then I nearly had a heart attack because they did actually say yes, and I was happy to have them, and actually they were very friendly, they were very down to earth. They sat here and we had a great conversation.
In general, okay, the world is a friendly place. Okay, we might have this fear, brewing right now with everything that is happening, but in general...
Has it maybe helped in a way because you don't actually have to fly to Silicon Valley now? You can actually connect, and somehow it's become more acceptable that you can actually do that connection. Or
for the tech people in the tech industry, especially in the technology industry, nothing has changed. Most of them, they were still working offline. There is people, example, some people are watching now from my watch party that they work. It's a friend that's working in Silicon Valley, and he's working 3 months in Cyprus, 3 months in China. He was all over the place.
Oh, that's the dream job, my dream job.
Yeah, okay. It's not, for the tech people, believe me, nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
It was... it's in their blood, the tech people, to work remotely, have digital meetings, etc. Some people, they have taken into a different level. They have VR meetings now with virtual reality and augmented reality. There is some tools out there.
But as you can see, so the people who actually know what they're doing and those who don't, because there's quite a big gap as far as the way things are presented and how professional they are. Surely that comes out as well in podcasts, in live, in whatever they're doing.
Yeah, and something that I wanted to mention, now is the right time to approach people, high caliber people, for a podcast or something, because actually with whatever happened now, a lot of people, they have relaxed, they are okay. So they are thinking of their next move, and it's time for them also to go out and speak again.
Disrupt Cyprus. You say, and I quote your words, keep innovating and digitally disrupting the world by generating positive social change. Tell us about your talks.
Okay, Disrupt Cyprus was, we started it 4 years ago with another 2 partners, and it was, we started, producing a lot of stuff in social media. We tried to cover a hole in the ecosystem that they didn't have a a dedicated media about startups
Yes.
to present their stuff and the entrepreneurship, etc. Slowly, the big media mainstream have seen that, and they increase also their amount of featuring startups, featuring etc., and featuring more stuff about entrepreneurship. And now after the COVID, we said to keep it as a podcast.
Yes.
And we will be doing different podcast show. When the one show is Disrupt Cyprus Live. From July it will be happening every Tuesday and Thursday around 9 p.m. We'll feature Cypriot startup or technology founders or innovators. When I say innovators, people that they actually created companies. We will not be featuring people that they didn't create companies, or at least they are a CEO of a big company, or someone that is the head of innovation of a big company like maybe.
That leads me to another question, and that's language. I like to bring this up because entrepreneurs, I would imagine, want an international market, something global. So what about those who work only in Greek?
I would say the thing that I said in Ukraine last year. There is the same problem in Ukraine. I was for 1 month mentoring Ukrainian startups.
Right.
Most of them, their English was not so well. And it's not me. I mean, another 5 Ukrainian. We were a team that actually there were some Ukrainian people that they live in Silicon Valley, and they were. We said to them, "You need to learn English. If you don't learn English, you will never go sit in front of an investor and actually build a startup. Okay, you might build a nice company for your country.
Yes.
Nice, that will be based, or at least hire someone that." If you can hire someone that can speak and can communicate very well in English. Unfortunately, the language of the world is English.
How effective is that?
I don't know.
I just feel that sorry, because I think there isn't sufficient English. There not enough messages, not enough content actually going out in English in Cyprus. I think we miss out on a lot. When we get to the pitch, how important is it to actually do your own pitch in order to be successful? You said if you're going to go and speak to an investor.
Of course, if you're a founder and you cannot pitch your product, forget it. No one will come, no one investor will come and look if you cannot pitch your own in his language.
In the language of,
or at least in English.
Let's say, language aside, as far as the skill of being able to pitch, because not everybody has these skills of being able to
why I said
someone.
In the beginning, the team that you are going to build, one of the guys should be the marketeer, the guy that actually has this pitching skill, the presentation skills. Now, if you don't have it, maybe it's best to hire someone that actually has this pitching, put him to pitch, and then when the questions come, you come in the questions. So you show to the investor that actually you know your
okay, so you could do
product.
it in conjunction with one another.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay. Usually, it's much better if one of the founders at least is able to pitch very well, and again, okay, pitching for me, pitching is just opening you the door. It's the other. It's sitting down with the investor. The other question that you need to ask.
Yes.
It's not about pitching. To be honest, I'm the guy that I'm not fond of a lot of demo days, etc. And actually, an international event that we're planning in December, D-Talks, will not have pitching competitions, etc. We'll only have the first day. 10 startups, around 100 startups will pitch, just for for investors to see. It will be a door to see what they have, and then they can go in digital meeting rooms and have meetings one-to-one
Yes.
with them, because this is what is working. It's the one-to-one, especially with investors.
Yes.
It's the one-to-one discussion, the half hour, the 1 hour. There you share much more stuff for your startups and etc. Pitching is just a way to showcase in a very quick way, 5-10 minutes, etc. And
you have to have a plan, and you have to be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen Amazon pitching in a competition, or Facebook or whatever? There is companies, there is product that they don't go to these events. They focus on building like a kick-ass product.
Yes. On Wednesday, for example, you spoke to Florian Sora, project manager at EBN, European Business and Innovation Center, about the tourism sector. A very organized approach leading to a pitching workshop. A huge opportunity is given out. And I'm wondering, how do you advertise and promote these events and these talks that you do? How will somebody find you?
They can monitor our talks in Cyprus and they can find us, but there is also other ways. There is, if someone wants to interact with the startup, let's say community, there is a Facebook group, Startup Cyprus. They can go there. There is Hack Cyprus, another society that is the biggest web programming society. There is another group, CY Tech News. It's a good news if you want to interact and get help about technology, or if you're PC or in general. There is different communities in Facebook. It's about finding the community, the community in the channel where your first clients will be. That's my first. Before you want to, if you are a startup and you want to find, there is, and this is happening all over the world. For example, there is in Ukraine, there is techukraine.org. They have a nice thing that they have done with the government, and they are pushing the thing out. In Cyprus, we have, for example, SIBA. Actually, Marius was watching one of the guys in SIBA. They have done launch in Cyprus. So if you are a company that you want to launch a startup or something in Cyprus, you can go there and find some information. Of course, you can come also to Disrupt Cyprus, and we can help you. I have helped a lot of people that they found my name around the. For example, I was in Skopje, and there they have like a board of IT companies.
Yes.
And I went to make an interview with I met the executive director of the thing, and when I said I'm Panis from Disrupt Cyprus, yes, I know Disrupt Cyprus. I'm monitoring the Instagram to see what is happening in Cyprus, because I was the only, and actually in the beginning we were more English driven, because we wanted to get out there that there is something happening in Cyprus about startups and things. Okay, the last 3-4 months we went more Greek. Now you're seeing more Greek.
Yes.
But slowly we are taking back
to English.
Back to English because we are going to focus on startups, and the English language is the main language of the ecosystem globally. And we are doing also we're planning some other activities that we can help also with our way to take Cyprus, and a lot of more people will know what is happening in the startup ecosystem through our podcast, through our website, and things like this.
Is it important to go out across all the media with the same message, but in a different format? So, for example, your approach on Facebook isn't going to be the same as from YouTube or from Instagram.
The best,
LinkedIn.
The correct approach is this, as you have said. You know, you have the message. Okay, you need to adapt the message a bit. For example, if you are doing TikTok, you need to be a bit more fun. You will not be, because it's a platform that wants the people. They want more fun. If you are on LinkedIn, you will customize. You will have the same message, but you customize the post. Okay, you might say, but someone might ask me why you don't customize your post as a growth hacker you are.
Yes.
I don't do that because I actually want to be the same in every. There is a reason why I want to be the same in every in every medium, because yeah, I mean there is a reason behind the whole strategy, but again, yeah, you need to, but that means more resources. It's
more time,
resources. It's very difficult. So, what I will suggest is try to create. Not create a lot of content.
Yes.
And focus and give different content in each channel.
Right.
Customize to the channel format but give because that's how you give a reason for someone to follow you. If someone follows you in Facebook, you give a reason to follow you in Twitter or in YouTube or.
Our time is running out. I want to ask you about niche and specialization. Is it essential in today's world of it's a very fast world of information and technology?
1000%. It's an essential, especially successful startups in the beginning. What they do, they focus on this niche. They solve a problem and they find their first 200 customers on this product that they are creating, in the solution, in the problem that they are solving, and this is how they become successful, and then they build from there. A lot of startups I have seen in Cyprus and abroad, they think that in the first 3 months it will be 1,000 features, and a lot of startups I have seen fail out of this because they didn't focus on their niche. They didn't focus on finding the first 100 customers of their niche.
How does one go about finding a niche? If you're maybe multi-talented, or maybe you don't have something that's fascinating for you and it's not a product. Because there are many people
everything can be considered a product. It depends from your. And when I say product, it doesn't mean that someone needs to pay for it. I mean, even for you, you're doing your own broadcast show. It's like a product. I mean, you need to go and share the videos in different communities. For example, when we finish this video, you can go and share it in Startup Cyprus community. That we're talking about growth and startups. If you go and share it, people will see that Saskia is doing something about startups. So you will get more new kind of followers in your Facebook or whatever in your.
So we've talked about niche as as what you're offering. What about the people who are following? Does that have to be niche as well, or can it be that you're open to everybody?
Again, depends from your strategy as a medium. If your goal is to become like an influencer and you need people to comment a lot in your post and you need to drive this discussion, then you don't need huge numbers to do it. You just need people that they will engage. You need to build community. And something important I forgot to mention, it's you need to build community. Now with the crisis, this has become a lot of whatever business you are planning to do. Start building the community even before launching the first version of your product.
Is that part
and involve the community in building your product. That's huge for startups and for other companies.
Is that part of being sustainable? We hear about companies having a low percentage success rate. E-commerce, mobile apps, Chrome extensions have the most profitable rates.
No, e-commerce right now it's a good vertical to go and invest in e-commerce, because e-commerce the numbers are going up because of the crisis. People are it accelerated the e-commerce adoption in different countries, happening in Cyprus with supermarket. I have people that they were spending 2 hours to go in supermarket now after the crisis because they started. That's why a lot of supermarkets now in Cyprus are investing to create their own e-commerce websites,
Yes.
etc. E-commerce is a good vertical now if you want to plan to do something and to work on that. By the way, if you want an e-commerce specialist, I have one very good. If you want to do that discussion with an e-commerce specialist, actually he's
Yes.
watching now.
Oh, excellent.
So I can refer you on that, and you can have like an e-commerce discussion about with Michalis and Angelos, and they are very good. They have done this many years from Cyprus, and yeah, I mean, education now, teleworking is niche that if you have something to do, anything that it was already digital or e-education, it's good now, because
a huge expansion that we've seen. Everyone even more attached to their digital devices.
And the fact that the people that they stayed 2-3 months home, they were doing this. I mean, you have people now, they 2-3 months ago they never knew Zoom, what Zoom was, what Google Hangout was, what a video calling Viper was.
Yes.
Now they are using it in their daily life.
Yes.
Like in 3 months. So you imagine that's why also these platforms are investing now in new features coming out of the. For example, in China there is a huge adoption, especially Asia countries, in these apps, etc. I don't know if you know how WeChat.
Yes.
With WeChat, you can do in your page. If you have a page in WeChat, you can do everything. You can sell stuff. You can from the messenger.
Yes.
Application.
Yes.
You can do everything, and in general, I mean, it's time to invest in digital products, especially products that they connect people now, because it seems that this thing will not go. It will take like 1-2 years to go away, or some. I mean,
there's going to be further expansion.
If you take into consideration that Apple, Microsoft, Google, they said no physical events until July 2021. And when I say that in Cypriot, people here, they're going like, what?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, if you consider that these big organizations, they said no physical events, I think they know something that we don't know.
Yes.
That we don't know. I mean, yeah, especially now a lot of apps around online events is happening, around online networking. So these are good areas to, if you want to start something new, to start on these areas, and or if you have something in this area, now maybe is the time to
develop and expand.
Yeah, develop, go get money from investors, or even acquire if you want to sell, because there is people that they build something for 2-3 years and they want to sell it and start something. That's another. Actually, the crisis didn't affect the big guys, Facebook, Amazon, Google. It didn't affect them in terms of acquisitions. They actually acquire. They acquire much more, because right now is the time to, if something is not going wrong and you want this company, or
that made people so angry that Amazon suddenly earned so much more money.
Yeah. Okay.
So
crisis. In crisis, you have the losers, you have the winners.
Yes.
Either you choose.
Panis, if everybody listening would like to come to you, are your doors open?
Yeah, you can find me, you can send me a message in Disrupt Cyprus, in Facebook or whatever. They can find me on Disrupt Europe. We have the European blog. If you are a startup that also needs access to investors, they can come also to me, because I have a lot of access around the world, and people that I can make them intros. Or panispieris.com. It takes you to my LinkedIn. Connect there, send me something, a message, something else. Usually I give to all the people like at least 30 minutes After that, I don't know.
They're very lucky. Thank you
No,
so
no,
much.
it's not. I mean, okay, I have a lot of projects happening, so my time is very limited.
Of course.
But always, especially with young people, I take the time and help them. I mean, your chances to get help is if you're a young people, to be honest, instead of being more experienced. But yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, energy, and so many words of wisdom. People can go back and listen to this broadcast and actually hear and make notes of what you need to do. A wonderful opportunity to have spoken to you. Thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you for inviting me. Let's hope it was educational and useful for people. And yeah, anybody can contact me or whatever.
So, we've been speaking to growth hacker Panis Pieris, and if you want to make contact, probably the best way is to go to disruptcyprus.com, and you can find him there, or you just put his name into Google and he'll come up on multiple platforms. So, 25 minutes to 2, and we continue Saskia Unreserved with the Sibelius Violin Concerto. Thank you so much for being part of the broadcast. If you want to be in touch with Panis, disruptcyprus.com, and he's quite happy to help you. Take care. Have a good day.
I will give you also the Snapchat spectacle to test it. There is a camera here.
Ah, wonderful. I was wondering, I was having a look at those.
Yeah, it's
while we
Snapchat spectacles. You can take video with and then put it in everywhere. Wow. In Facebook.
Well, there you go. More exciting adventures. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.